everything's doing well. So, we need to kind of have a little discussion here. This is something I encourage you to listen to because it's really important. This is a situation that will affect the planet. So, So, I've been discussing with you guys an ever-growing situation, but it's not just my situation. There are certainly more elements to this that need to be explained, and that we need to talk about a little bit. And again, I implore you to listen and to kind of get through this a little bit, regardless of politics, regardless of anything like that. So, what is going on? Well, there is a very obvious ploy and coup d'etat sort of kind of going on with the United States right now. And I've been talking about this for a long time. But it's very obvious that very soon the dollar will be worth almost nothing. The United States, because of what is happening, will fall victim to some of the very serious things that have been going on in the world. So let's just back up a little bit. And we've been talking about some very serious things lately too that have been going on. But let's get you guys to my level of understanding as best that I can with some other information here. So, take for instance, you have all these data packets flowing around the internet all the time. And what you have to remember is that not only are these data packets linked to every single person's name and like everything, but like what's really crazy is that you start noticing some of the people, the really technical people and stuff like that, start noticing just how ridiculously linked even basic things are. So let's get through this, okay? So some of these things are things like even basic things like icons. You think, well, it's an icon on your phone screen, or it's an icon on the desktop, or something like that. And then even this icon disappears when presented with an interruption of internet. something like that. And let's say that icon is just like a program or something. It doesn't, you know what I mean? Like, why would the icon, like the picture itself, disappear with, you know, like disruption of internet and stuff like that? So you start recognizing that things that are tied to data and constantly being run through data shouldn't be. Like permanent things that are just like kind of things that you wouldn't expect to be having, you know, data run through them, and they are. And then you start recognizing other things, and you start putting, you know, just like seeing patterns, putting things together, and following it, you know. And what you have to realize is that all of this is absolutely connected to the fact that you, yes, get text messages constantly trying to get you to you know, like essentially figure out how you feel about the current situation, about this person or this person and stuff like that. And think about how many people fall for those texts or open them or click on them or something like that. Where am I going with this? Well, I'll tell you. Do you remember how we've been discussing, you know, all the billions of dollars that scammers from other countries are stealing from Americans every year? Every year, scammers from other countries steal tens of billions of dollars from Americans. And they do it using, you know, means of data, you know, like essentially identity theft and stuff like that. And when this goes on for a long period of time, and sort of kind of both parties don't really do anything, you know, like the United States being as big and powerful and commanding as it is, and then that government where it's happening too in that country having the ability to do something and then choosing not to as well, where almost like when something happened, you know, like in this country, something happens and, well, something else worse happens to distract you from the thing that's happening. Did you notice that? Well, that used to be a political tactic. Okay? That used to be a political tactic, a distraction. Now, let me get to why this matters. In other countries, I don't know, we'll just say, you know, for example, India, where freedom of the press isn't really a thing, and they can just lie to their people and just make up anything they want and just sort of declare this is what happened even though it's not. What you have to realize is that in that country, all of those people are going to think like that now. They're going to know subconsciously what actually happened, but because their government does this and everybody does this, they do this. Like it's literally built into their subconscious. They do this. And so their country lies and creates scams to lie to them about what really happened in the US and yada 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 yada. Meanwhile, they have people in their country stealing tens of billions of dollars from Americans every year. I call BS. I call BS. What you have to realize is that the politicians over here that want to use this as a distraction, that want to start using scams as a distraction, have started doing that. And actually creating problems out of thin air to confuse you. You know, saying this is a problem, but it's really not, and then they just fix it, but not really. And so, like, they create a problem just to fix it. Now, you know, just to have something to do to say that they did something, but it's so delicate. Everything going on right now, you can't do that. And so the point is, the other country, India, sits there. I call BS. I think they're doing it on purpose. I think they know it harms our country, and they know that they're stealing money from us very slowly but surely, siphoning all of our real, actual cash out of our country. I've been saying this. And then they're converting it to digital currency and all kinds of other stuff. And now the dollar is going down. All thanks to a certain person, regardless of what political side you're on. It's happening under his watch, and for the first time, I don't even know how long. We'll take a look at what it's worth. Okay? And, I dare say that if a billionaire knows all this much about business and knows what's going to happen and stuff, and this is what's happening, why are you still considering him an expert, and why in the hell isn't that man removed from office? Why in the hell isn't somebody that sits here and becomes a king of a democracy literally right in front of your very eyes operates a coup d'etat to violate the Constitution, to violate everything that soldiers stood for in this country years ago when they fought for those rights and those freedoms, violating everything that we stand for, your rights, your freedoms, and your ability to say no. And that's what he's taking. And the longer you sit here wearing your ridiculous hats because you want to support a fan club and be in denial of the fact that this man continuously takes your country and destroys it. I mean, all that's going to happen is one day you're going to wake up and things are going to be blowing up and you're not going to know why because you weren't paying attention. That's all that's going to happen. This country is going to be under attack. It's going to be a third world country and you're still going to be in denial. You're going to be like, no, it's great. And I'm wondering at what point at which you're going to start realizing it's not. When the debt expands to another $3.5 trillion? I mean, you just added another $3.5 trillion to the debt by cutting taxes from you instead of cutting more taxes from the rich. When you cut more taxes from the rich, like the whole point is you don't cut more, you cut the same percentage bracket. They will eventually pay more because they earn more. It's a percentage, that's why it works that way. So why would you take less of a percentage? It doesn't make any sense. The rich man knows that. I know that. Professors know this. Intelligent people know this. They all call it out and condemn it. Yet the people that vote for him, that just kind of go, do their jobs daily and honestly sound pretty incoherent when they talk about politics, are the types of people that are literally speaking for the rest of us. This is not what the future was ever supposed to be. It's not supposed to be a rich, whiny 70-something-year-old trying to become king and take over and trying to lash out at anybody that says he's wrong just because he is. This guy is, again, there's no political agenda here. There's no politics here. There's no politics with me informing you that the U.S. dollar has gone down in value all of a sudden. There's no politics in me giving you the facts and telling you that this actually has happened. He's given himself the power of a king. He sat here and removed women's rights, taking credit for it. He's literally done all of these things. He sat here and constantly slashed taxes for rich people while giving more to you. Giving more to the middle class. These are facts. It's not fake news. None of this is fake. It's factual information. So again, I'll ask you, what part of wake up and fight for your country and realize what's happening do you not understand? No, again, the people that are emotional and will respond to a scam showed it. Except they also showed that they're going to be brainwashed and manipulated by that person that's scamming them. Donald J. Trump. Because they all stormed the Capitol emotionally, using their emotions, not knowing it was illegal, causing that problem, showing the rest of the world just how unintelligent the average populace is of America. That's all you did. That's what's happening now. Because they realize just how regularly stupid the average American is. I'm not saying that to be rude. You might consider it rude. It's just a piece of factual information. Most intelligent people in this country have come to understand this. That's why a lot of them are isolating themselves. Because you destroy things because you're stupid. I'm not being rude. It's literally a piece of factual information. How many times do you see somebody using... Asmongold does this too. He uses the destruction of a police vehicle for a propaganda tool to advertise Donald Trump memes. Basically, he likes Donald Trump and he wants you to feel bad for the fact that terrible criminals destroyed a police vehicle and were using a riot as an excuse to vandalize things. And then somebody that's supposed to be a beacon for our community, a very American individual, a very front page individual, everybody holds on to every word he says, they love him to death. Asmongold, of all people, sits here day in and day out using, like, destruction memes and stuff like that to point the finger at his own brethren, at his own Americans. And so thus, we have a situation where scammers in all these other countries are just laughing their asses off how fucking stupid you all are. Realizing that you are showing the rest of the world that we are divided. We are not the United States, we are the divided states of America. You are showing them that. You are this dumb. You go on social media and you fight. You go in my chat and you literally agree with a scammer that's trying to learn all information about us and stalking us and doing all these things, literally doxing me and my information. You do these things. Nobody told you to do that. You did it. And then you wanted to be seen doing it too. You know, you say that you message. I care. If you cared, you would private message. You wouldn't go out in public and make a fuss. No, you want to be seen helping. That's not helping. That's you want to look like a helpy helperton. So therefore, you do things in the public. No. This is the point. Nobody does anything because they genuinely... Okay, for example, yesterday we had a really bad storm. 2 very thick trees fell over a road in my neighborhood. And then I stood there with my car until somebody else came along because I didn't want somebody who maybe not have been paying attention or something like that to just have an accident with a huge freaking solid tree in the middle of the road. I didn't know how long it was going to be sitting there. So yeah, I started doing it myself. Did I ask for a cookie? Did I sit here and film it? Did you guys see any? No, I didn't. And how many other things do you think that other people do too and they don't say anything? How many things do you think that I've done kind for other people that I don't tell you about? Meanwhile, all you do is you sit here and you look for every little tiny opportunity to use the smallest little thing that sounds bad just for a momentary moment of likes or like a short or something like that. Just for that moment. And meanwhile, this destroys somebody else. You sit here and use these moments for yourself, and this destroys whoever, literally it's not what's happening. It's not even close to what's happening. Yet you use this for your momentary moment of fame. And it destroys. So, meanwhile, you have no idea what actually is going on. You just sort of kind of use this one thing to kind of look a certain way, even if fucking clue what you're talking about. It's like everybody sits here and talks all this, like people like just like want to talk crap and hate on things that everybody's starting to like and stuff like that, until they find out like some little detail that they can like use, you know, in some way. It's like, it's ridiculous. So this is what you have to realize, is that people have, and especially in other countries and stuff like that, this is what they're doing to make money now. This is what's all over YouTube. This is what's all over any social media. Really, it's literally not even just YouTube. This is everywhere, and it's getting views. It's getting likes. This is ridiculous, and this is what the world is coming to. All it is a bunch of people trying to film each other in a negative manner and pointing and laughing. Meanwhile, the people who know what life is about and have been struggling so hard to build a working and valid country, Europe, after all these years, Europe, of all these things, Europe, that they did, Europe, with like Nazism and the Berlin Wall, Europe, and all that stuff, learning all of those things, Europe, over the years, where, you know, the Britons went through all those wars and stuff like that, Europe, and, you know, just kind of like, you know, just learned eventually that, you know, people didn't like that, and that's not how we do things, and we should, you know, peace, NATO. We aid people in wars. We don't start new ones. We don't sit there and try to finish them. We aid the person defending themselves. Ukraine was attacked. We aided them. That's it. They were defending themselves. This is the point. We have learned in the modern world, we don't fight. We don't go to war. We have peace. And then we offer aid to those that need it. This is the point. You want to call that policing the world? Okay, good. Good. Somebody needs to do it. Yes. Yep. Because of the internet. Yes. That is absolutely necessary now, unfortunately. So what you have to realize is that it's gotten really, really, really bad. So, I'm going to confirm the name, but I wanted to tell you about a specific thing that I saw recently that I've been looking at. I want to make sure I get the name right. Yes, okay. So even, like, for example, let's on YouTube, there's a channel that the entire channel just got started. They have 8,000 subscribers, 8.8. How long have I been on here? They have 8.8 thousand. They literally just got started a few months ago. They have 8.8 thousand subscribers. They have tens of thousands of views and stuff like that, all these likes. Do you know what their entire channel does? This the whole thing's a lie. The whole thing is just complete lying. It's nonsense. It's false information about movie actors and lying about their reputations. It's literally an entire channel called Film Space Time on YouTube. Film Space Time. Everything on there is false. It's literally just all complete lies. They literally just sit there and use snippets of little interviews of like the Avengers actors and stuff like that, saying that they're all leaving Disney and that they're really angry and stuff like that, and using one-off snippets of their like interviews and stuff like that out of context to make it seem like the actors are angry at Disney and they're going to Paramount Plus and yada 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 yada. You get the picture. So they're like, one of their latest videos creates this whole scam that makes it seem like Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, Scarlett Johansson, Jeremy Renner, all these people, and even basically I think a lot of this is just because Jeremy Renner stood up to the person that offered him less money. Like, it's literally, I think, pinned all on that. Just because that guy Yeah, just because he was actually a hero, he did deserve more, and he stood up for it. And I think after the fact, the truth of the fact was that it came out that everybody kind of agreed that they shouldn't have done that. Like, that was a really bad move, really messed up. And they, like, have tried to move on from it, I think. The whole point is this guy's just, like, making shit up, lying, trying to make the actors look bad. And, like, the new Doctor Doom, like, Robert Downey Jr. being Doctor Doom, and Secret Wars, like, being a new thing that's coming in the future. This is very bad. So basically, you have to wonder if other countries, as like scammers and stuff, are doing this to try to kill our culture. And I've been trying to tell you for so long that there's this cancel culture thing that India, China, and Russia are all very obviously working on together. Very, very obviously. I shouldn't have to tell you this, YouTube. But apparently people don't realize it because it's right in front of your face, and like there's all these comments on there, people believing it and stuff like that. I even posted a comment on there and it got a like. I kind of like went along with it a little bit to see what would happen, and I got a like. Come on, man. So, just like when you see that YouTube promotes it, and you see just how plain as day this stuff is, like this is why I've gone to exhausting measures to try to get it across to you guys of what's going on here. That like. Somebody really is manipulating this whole thing. And like these awful people, I think they're just as foolish as anybody else that doesn't give it the time of day to realize what's going on. Like the in denial people that never moved on from a candidate. That's a huge problem, man. Yeah, like this is the point. Like when you just allow this, all that person, that toxic person does is like he's gonna sit here and find ways to hide the truth from you and mask it under all these other people that are better at lying than he is. Like, he's a terrible liar. So like he had to sort of kind of, you know what I mean? Like people start really picking up on that. So this is important because if the United States crumbles and becomes a lesser... Do I need to tell you? Do I need to tell you what's going to happen? I actually kind of don't want to, but I'm going to tell you anyway because I don't know this. I just know it. Does that make sense to you, that statement? Nobody told me this. I just figured it out. Okay. This is what an analyst does. The NSA and the CIA, both separately, are organizations that are so controlling and so demanding that they will not let this happen. There is no way either one of those organizations, while protecting national security in their eyes, are going to allow us to financially crumble, like where they can't get the funding to essentially continue to be either the top military and defense world power. They will not let this happen. So, to the nations that are orchestrating this, I can promise you, very quickly and very swiftly, you will find your leaders are suddenly missing. I'm just letting you know. That's all they're going to do. Your leaders, your world leaders, like Xi from China, isn't he missing now all of a sudden? I don't know, maybe he showed up again. They're going to go missing. That's all that's going to happen. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. You will not measure up to what the CIA has been doing for decades after 9/11. You will never measure up to that. Never. Because there is no resolve stronger than we will never forget. Trust me. Those people that have been doing that job for X amount of time, yeah, they're just waiting. They're literally just, they cannot wait. They cannot wait. They cannot wait. They can't wait. You know why? They're impatient. They were pissed when Bush randomly destroyed Iraq. They were pissed when Obama silently got bin Laden, and that was it. There was no making these terrorists actually feel fear for what they did. And then they sit there pretending they're all religious, that they're doing it for like the person up above, the creator. Why would the creator of all of us want us to kill ourselves? That makes literally no sense. You sound like a fucking moron when you think like that. And again, that's not like to be rude, but consider my words here. I have to be harsh to somebody that literally uses their entire life is to exist to bomb somebody else and kill themselves in the process. At what point do you think this brings glory to any god? You are brainwashed and manipulated by people that want some agenda and want money out of it. Like, this is all this is. Like, you're in another country, you know nothing of the outside world, you need money, and you'll believe anything. You get involved with these people, and oh, for Allah, and all this stupid shit. Let me ask you something. Why would God have created all of us to kill each other? Makes total sense, right? Yeah, he totally made, humans so that they would eventually start making really unique devices like bombs to just, suicide people and kill each. Makes literally zero sense. Like, think about it longer than 5 seconds. Purpose of life is literally to extend it or to live, period. Otherwise, that which doesn't live dies. It's literally that simple. You do what you can. You exist. Yeah, super glorious. So do something with it then. Stop sitting here thinking that glory is brought. You're being manipulated. You're a fool. And this is the point. We are being invaded, and some Americans and some other people in other countries too, manipulated by fools. They're also being manipulated. There are all these scams going around all over the place. People lying, people making shit up just to look good, to sound good. There are entire organizations that pretend to be Christian just for the sake of the benefits of it. And then think about it. All the time we're sitting here talking about how like modern things and modern stuff that we've seen have started to disprove a lot of the stuff. And then like when you analyze the Bible and you look at the teachings of Christ and you look at the teachings of the modern version of the Bible and stuff like that, you start realizing that none of what we're doing makes any sense. All our churches are all segregated. It's a racist system where like because we were because we had for those in other countries, just to let you know, Americans had slaves in this country. I just want you to know that. The Civil Rights Act, Americans came here with slaves. They brought them here. That's what happened. And we had slaves all the way up until the Civil Rights Act, until that war. The North and the South fought, and the South wanted slaves. That's why everybody down South is more like pro-Trump and shit like that. They never got over this shit. They're racist fucking people. And the people up North, and a good bit of the people in California too, but it's mostly just North and South. You can pretty much separate it, the Mason-Dixon line. That's why the people up North, you know, it really truly stayed that way for the most part. And, you know, I do think that the general population is becoming, like more people are becoming aware of what's, you know, like just like how ridiculous this is, and less people are voting and stuff like that. That's the point, less people vote. But recognize what happened. Recognize that we had that this country, it was legal to do that. And recognize what this guy is doing and who's agreeing with him. The people in Texas, the people south of the border, realize who's agreeing with him. Mostly those states, right? And then you see, like, you know, like these states, that's why they're typically red states, is because, like, you know, like even, you know, on a state level, they'll, like, support laws and policies that support, you know, taking away more rights for people. And you start recognizing that, no, that's not conservative. Like, that's a viewpoint where all, like, your conservative value is skewed. You think conservative means that you need to condense everything and make it... No. Conservative, you literally just... Like, the whole point is to live off the land as much as you can, but you know, not be for corporate greed, not like, the whole point is support local business, support Americans, support doing it right by, you know, trying to do as much as you can to conserve water, conserve nature, conserve your natural resources, no fossil fuels. That's called conservative values. And literally no Republicans, nobody that votes understands that. They don't understand what the conservative means. Yet you again have flip-flopped. We flip-flopped this. The Democratic voters are the ones that do. This is why Democrats are successful too. They do things that make sense. They actually do things. They sign into laws things that regulate dumping waste into waterways, which, by the way, Donald Trump undid. Remember when he was trying to bring fossil fuels back and he was trying to screw up our waterways? Yeah, he did that, and he removed regulations that were in place that would allow dumping of oil waste into waterways. Like, this is the kind of crap that we're talking about, where this person would just constantly do things that would just harm the country. So, again, you have to recognize a scam when you see one. That guy's a scammer. Just start recognizing it. Literally, all you have to do is just start noticing when somebody's a scammer. That's it. Notice. Um, is Asmongold a scammer because he does what I said earlier that he does because of the them, like he uses like the image of like like a police vehicle being vandalized and stuff like that from these riots and stuff. Is he a scammer? No, it's not a scam. No, it's not what I mean when I say that. So, because he does that, though, Asmongold is 20 times more likely to be scammed. Because he does things like that. Because he very obviously doesn't know the truth. And is using other people, like in front of scammers, in front of the world, he's very obviously using a subject to get people to give him money, and he knows he's being dishonest about it, at least to a point. Scammers, other scammers will recognize immediately and exactly what he's doing, and they will take advantage of it. So I bet he has a lot of people that donate money to him that get scammed, and have had to, maybe had something cleared out, had to cancel their cards and stuff like that, just because of how certain trackers and things work. They will have found out about that. It's just through botting anymore. If you think that this is conspiracy, well, let me tell you something that will possibly change your mind on that. All of the trackers, the cookies, pretty much everything that you see anymore is through botting. So, don't think that at any given time all these scammers and all these people can hear what you're saying and listen to your streams all the time. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that every second of every day they could possibly do all that. No. But their bots can. Yeah. And so can AI. So this is what you have to realize. And I'm not going to get into the whole AI thing, but I will say that it is extremely, extremely, extremely important for all of you to start saying no to anything that this guy wants to do. Question it with a grain of salt. Say no. I've tried to tell you this a million times. I tried to tell you about the bill that took more of your rights away, basically, while costing you more money, adding to the debt. Again, we're not trying to get political here. These are facts. These are things that are going to happen and are happening currently, right now, as we speak. I mean, it's already happening. So, don't forget about the, don't forget about all the scams. That, this is ridiculous. It's to a point where, again, people can't discern fact from truth, fact from non-truth. Fact from non-truth. Because the point is, this guy is sitting here doing this so much it confuses people. They don't, you know what I mean? And you see it. That's always what he wanted to do. He wanted to do it long enough, and if anything, Biden being in between the two may have helped, because it spread it out for him a bit more. The generation that grew up with him the first time and thought he was great, they were just young. They didn't really understand, and they were convinced by their parents too. And really what happened was he inherited all this stuff from Obama. Like, Obama had a booming economy, created record job growth. He literally inherited all this crap, and he always takes credit for stuff that Obama did and Biden actually did. A lot of the stuff that he could take credit for literally was just stuff Obama did, that as he came into office, he could just say that he did it. So, like, what I'll ask you is, do you really think that, like, just because he's suddenly in office, now everything is instantly, suddenly different? Just immediately? Just all the prices at your grocery store? Just immediately? Is that really what you think? Because it's just not the case. No, that's the point. Like, it takes a few years, and truthfully, you will see that result usually toward the end of when they're leaving office, and then as the new administration's coming in. And this has been a pretty regular thing I've been touching on since the very beginning. I've been telling you guys a long time. That's been something I never came to an awareness of it recently. I've been aware of this for a long time, and it's as easy as knowing that that's just how stuff works here. It's supposed to work that way. So, Donald Trump doing things that happen now, where you see if things changes immediately, this means, do you know what this means? Yeah, it means other countries are finally backing away. And you don't want that. You think you don't need them? Yes, you do. Every single device that you have, every electronic device you have has a microchip in it that came from Taiwan. And you think that you're not getting something that wasn't made here. Well, the microchip wasn't. They ordered that part from Taiwan. See, this is the problem with your conservative views that aren't actually conservative. You don't really know what you're talking about. You kind of just like say these things, but you don't really actually, you're not politically savvy. And I've been trying to tell everybody this, but it's the sort of thing where, like, people don't want to hear it. They just want to sit here and I guess pretend to be experts in politics. I don't get that. I really don't get it. Should I consider myself an expert? I'm actually genuinely asking. I've never even... I don't even say that. No, I'm not writing articles on it. I don't have a talk show. I do talk about it regularly and research it to great length. So, yeah. I mean, probably I am, because I've been doing that for a long time, and yeah, probably, but I still, even myself, sit here and go, am I? Like, I would actually ask somebody, like a historian or a professor, I'd probably ask them if they think they would consider, because I would actually want that feedback. You know what I mean? Like, from somebody intelligent. Not from somebody that just sits here and endlessly votes for the same fucking guy every time. That again, you should have ruled out. So, Film Space Time. It's an entire channel dedicated to smearing the actors that play the Avengers and their image in Marvel. Shut it down. The only way they're getting away with it is because of AI. That's how they're getting away with it. Yeah, because basically they use like AI thumbnails and stuff, so it doesn't pick up, YouTube system doesn't pick up on the fact that it's the actor's face in the thumbnail. Because they're using AI, that's why. So YouTube's just like, oh, well, I guess there's no problem here then. Because everything's automated. Now you get it. Now you get it. Now do you get it? I hope so. Film Space Time, Film Time on YouTube channel. Only a couple months old. And I'm not promoting that channel, I'm saying look at it to discern for yourself whether or not it's fake, and if you think it is, please report it, or I don't know, do whatever you think is right in that moment to try to help the cause of this information, because that's misinformation hardcore. That is fake news. That is the definition of it. The whole point is that Donald Trump he didn't create fake news. He created the commonality of fake news. That's it. Like fake news was always a thing, but it was like comedy. It was like a joke. I mean, everybody knew like when somebody was just like sarcastically telling a news report or just making shit up, and I think it was a joke. No. Nobody expected a president to sit here and come along and literally say lies. Literally just tell you lies with everything he says, and for you to actually believe it. Nobody expected that. And for him to just say, oh, that's fake news anytime somebody disagrees with him or contradicts anything he says, because, again, he's just a fucking child that literally can't be wrong. And again, he actually had to make himself king just to avoid all of this. That's why we keep saying this stuff, the power of a king. That's true. The reason we say that is because it's actually true. What we mean by that is, if you take the king, you know how like Britain has a king. They have a government too, but they have a king. Okay. We don't. That was the whole point. We got away from that. And I think like that was the whole point. Like even Britain, like they've thought about it, considered like even like current royal families, like, yeah, like we don't, our family is it, like the whole thing is like, that's a thing of the past. Nobody wants kings. And God sure doesn't. No, a king is somebody you worship. It's not an elected official. It's somebody that wants you to grovel at their feet. So, it's really messed up. I want to make a meme because of all the stickers people deface gas stations with. You all voted. All you Trump voters. You sat here and you defaced and vandalized gas stations because you were literally too stupid to understand that Donald Trump was convincing you that Joe Biden or Obama somehow had something to do with gas prices. Even though that's Russia. We were importing all of our oil from Russia. And you had no fucking clue. You're just too stupid to know anything about politics. So again, not to be rude, but that's just the truth. You're too stupid about politics to know anything about it, so you just sit there, get mad, and respond emotionally. And again, just like the January 6th thing, you actually break the law because of something false. Because it's something that you're led to believe by a liar. I want to make a meme of like the I did that sticker, where like people were literally putting a sticker of Joe Biden pointing at the gas price and putting it on gas pumps. This defaces the gas pump. It often damages it. It's illegal. It's considered graffiti, basically. Like they have to remove that, and it often damages the gas pump. And people were doing this. Like, I saw it everywhere. These assholes were doing this. They're actually committing crimes. And I want to make a meme and have him pointing the I did that, but I want to have it I want to have it like the top and bottom meme. I want Trump pointing at the number that's really high. And I want Joe Biden pointing at the low number. And do you know why? Because now you can say that that is true. Yep. Because of what Trump did with tariffs and imports and with Russia and all this stuff going on, you can arguably say he has had a negative impact. However, Joe Biden actually positively affected your gas prices. He helped your gas prices get reduced. And do you know why? Yeah, because of Joe Biden, we're actually drilling here. We're not importing oil. And you thought Joe Biden, he literally sits here and does one of the most Republican things he can do. Drill for oil on our own soil. And you're sitting here telling him he's a terrible... He's literally one of the most... He got, seriously, some of the most stuff done of almost any modern president. If you actually look at everything he got done. And then Trump sits here and signs executive order after executive order undoing all of these good things. Trying to undo all of these good, positive things. Meanwhile, saying it's the opposite. And again, I'm giving you examples, specific examples. Trump, he'll tell you that this is what this is for, but it's a lie. It's really just going to do something else. That's literally all he did. You know that press conference where he was saying all the tariffs? I looked up those tariffs. I started looking them up. Pretty much every one of those he lied about. Like, it was just complete lying. What's this for? Oh, it's going to do this, it's going to do this, it's going to help Americans. No. It's actually a lie. So, everything he has done has helped foreigners. Other countries. Yeah. And then this racist president is sitting here using... Aren't they Cold War policies? Like Cold War policies, like racist old policies to remove citizens. Unbelievable. So, Elon Musk had to flee, I guess. I remember talking about his response to like his black eye and stuff like that. He tried to claim his son hit him in the eye. Oh my. I mean, I tried to tell you guys. I literally told you he was going to use that guy. So, the point is, you have to realize that Musk was threatened. That black eye was evidence. And Donald Trump is a crime lord posing as a president. That's all he is. You know, the video of them chanting "crime family," that's true. Look up Donald Trump's charity art auction they did, where all these artists submitted all this work, and then instead of it actually going into like charity funds, it went into like a bank account in Donald Trump Jr.'s name. Why is that? Why wouldn't it go immediately into a... That's not how things work. Because that's the point, you don't trust. That's just not how it works. You even, oftentimes, they want as much transparency as possible for them. They often want to even see it kind of going into that organization, like see evidence of that. Like, that's the whole point. Like, and note, this just went into an account in Donald Trump Jr.'s name. Just some disgusting stuff. It really is. And this was when he was president the first time. I mean, that was the first time, man. It was like 2018, I think, something like that. That was a while ago, man. Could have started paying attention. It was stuff like that I was like, So, what you have to realize is that he is at the center of all this. And he wants to be. That's on purpose. Because all he cares about is how much time he's on TV. It's all about him getting ratings. That's how disgusting it is. The people close to him, who have worked with him, have come out and said that he doesn't really go home and do research and spend time reading or anything. No, he's just watching TV. He watches TV. That's what he does. Watches TV, sucks at golf. He's not even good at golf. You know he cheats too, right? You know he cheats at golf. This is commonly known. People just know this. He cheats at golf. And you think that this guy is honest with you. When he can't even take losing at golf. That's pretty bad. There's a lot of this, real worry about World War III. And I'd say that's a real possibility, but the thing that I would be more concerned about... Yeah, I know, more concerned, right? Is that it seems like World War III may even be stunted by the fact that the biggest threat actually isn't even mankind. And the fact that we're having these conversations now, like congressional conversations, bipartisan congressional conversations of members of military, it really is an insane time to actually be really talking about this stuff. And if I didn't know any better, I'd say this is an old school distraction involving a massive amount of people. However, it doesn't account for them now sitting there and recounting the exact stories that we've heard all of those years. Where other people started telling these stories, and now the military guys in the congressional meetings are just confirming through their own mouths and retelling the story, except adding more detail that we didn't hear before. So, you know, and military guys, they don't got time for that. They don't have time for it. If they have time for it, you better be concerned. And they sat there in seats giving testimonies for X amount of time, and now have had many congressional meetings about this exact subject. So, again, if you think that that is in any way not credible, you are a fool. Stop being a fool. You must stop being foolish. Start considering the things that people are saying and really realizing what's going on. Like, especially with the scammer in charge, man. You know, you want to be in denial forever about somebody that sits here and very obviously signs a bill that immediately starts destroying our country. Somehow. Because again, like I just said, that usually doesn't happen. I literally, like, we've never seen this type of thing happen, where, like, just immediately these effects are just so apparent. This is nuts. Again, what that means is it's the rest of the world cutting themselves off from us. And you don't want that. We import more than we export. We need those goods. We need a good standing. You know, I am sorry that the message sounds rude and insulting at times. But would you listen to it if I just sat here and said it the same way? Calmly, with no backbone? I don't know. Doesn't seem like it. Doesn't seem like you're still listening to the facts. Again, it's not a... Like, what do you think I get out of this? It would be easy for me to use Trump's numbers. You know, the bots and stuff, like, all that stuff's botting. It would be easy for me to use that. Because it's fake. And it would be easy for me to use it. Because that's the point. That's how easy those people are. No, they're so easy. And Trump knows it. Thought he was able to do it. I mean, at this point, I think it's literally just people that don't want to vote for a Democrat just because they're called Democrat. That don't understand what democracy is. You know, like the word democracy, like Democrat sounds like democracy. So like this is another thing. It's like when Bernie Sanders wasn't picked, And he was even gonna run Democratic because he admitted and knew that the independents never have the numbers. He's been saying this for as long as I have, longer. That guy's old, right? Yeah. So like he's been around saying this longer, way longer than even I have, and he's been sticking up for all of you for a long time and doing a good job. And the crazy thing is, everybody loves him. And he was going to run Democratic, and even he didn't have the numbers. And then Elon Musk and Trump basically come forward and prove that it has everything to do with wealth. And then you see Trump sign a bill to basically make rich people richer and make the middle class poorer. Yep. So, can you please start putting two and two together? Can you please start realizing how bad these scams are? Can you start please realizing that this guy is not here to help you? He's not giving you help. He is not helping. It's costing you money. Tariffs are bad. They start a trade war. You make deals. Keogh even talks about this isn't a fair deal. Then make one if you think it's not a fair deal. You don't. He literally. Okay, let me tell you in a different way so you understand. Let me tell you. Let me tell you in a way that you kind of understand. Trump doing that is like when Michael Scott on The Office randomly just got up from his chair one day, upset about his finances, didn't understand how it worked, didn't understand how any of it worked, frustrated in his office, got up from his chair one day and just belts out, "I declare bankruptcy." And then I think it's Oscar, right, that says something really effective. You know, you can't just declare bankruptcy and expect it to actually happen, right? So, this is my point, is like, this is how those people think. It's literally like they, you know, like Donald Trump does that and expects that, like that to be the outcome. You know, like that's the way he speaks, just like that, where it's like, you know, like he literally just declares something, and it's just like, yeah, that's the truth, even though it's not. Like it just makes these declaratives that just like don't make any sense. And so like this is the point, like it's just because he's saying it and it's ridiculous and stupid doesn't make it true. And all these organizations over the years, these fact checkers and stuff that were doing this, that were proven to basically do this just to do it. Like, there's plenty of times where these organizations prove that they're not funded by anything political, and that, you know, there's certain ones you can trust, like Snopes and stuff like that, where all they do is sit there and accurately, legitimately try to find out the answer. And, you know, meanwhile, you sit here and you just go, "Oh, that's not true, it's dirt, it's this and that," and it's not. It's not anything that you say it is. It is what it is. Because again, you're the one sitting here and changing that narrative. Again, making it what Donald Trump wanted it to be. You're not... You're just in denial. You're just finding something else that could prove him wrong. Like, you're just trying to find, like, if you want to find something, you'll look for it even if it's not there. Okay, this is the movie The Number 23 all over again. Okay? All you're doing is literally seeing how great he is, even though he ain't. You're seeing the number 23 everywhere, even though it's not there. You're adding up random numbers. You're looking at, oh my god, this is the R is like the something letter in the alphabet, and then R minus E is the something letter in the alphabet plus this number. Like, God, no, he's crazy. Like, at a certain point, you just realize the dude's crazy, and he's just finding this number everywhere because he's fucking crazy. Okay? That's you. With Donald Trump. You're Jim Carrey and the number 23. Except the number 23 is MAGA. And you're just finding it everywhere, even though it ain't there. You're just looking for it. You're just like, oh, that's MAGA, that's MAGA. No, it ain't. Obama did that. Oh, you think it's good? Okay, let's get rid of it then. That's what Trump says. Oh, you realized Obama did that now? Okay, well, we gotta get rid of that thing then. Like, you're literally Jim Carrey and the number 23, and you just see this number everywhere, and so you keep looking for it. And even when you don't find it, you give it a nonsensical... You just... It's like, it was like the people being interviewed outside the, the conventions and stuff. The convention center before he gives his ridiculous rally where he lies to these people, and like they're being interviewed, like to why they vote for Trump, and like they say they just say the most ridiculous. Like, none of them give valid answers, and then even when the ones that give answers that sound like they could be valid, it's just something basic and simple, like he's great for the economy and respects women and stuff like that. It's like literally two of the opposite. It's like the two of the most polar opposite fucking things Trump does. Like, no, he does. He's terrible for the economy, and no, he doesn't. No, that's not something he does. If he respected women, he would have his wife, like, giving more speeches, and she would do more, and she would be more respected. That would be a thing. That would be a thing. Like, there wouldn't just be a huge weirdness with that. So anyway, it's the sort of thing where everybody contributes somehow to, further this idea with, the concept of, like, just everything, just putting everything on the internet and not even have a reason to. Like I said, a lot of the tracking and a lot of this stuff very obviously happened when everyone was stuck in their homes for years at a time. And then the other countries were already past this, and they were working their magic, trying to solve problems and learn all about you while you're at your home. And some people were working from home, on unencrypted networks, unprotected networks, and stuff like that. Where who knows how many doctors and stuff like that have, like, I don't know, even like maybe doctor visits, like over the phone or a video call or something, and like a scammer was just like watching, or like somebody was just watching. Like, you really think that can happen? Yes, you can. Are you kidding me? I think of a few guys off the top of my head that are streamers that could do something like that. Like good guys that wouldn't. But literally, just off the top of my head, I can think of a few. If I could think of a few that I know off the top of my head that are good guys, that means that the scammers, oh, trust me, they know plenty. They know plenty that'll do that, that can do that. Okay, so that's all you need to realize is that where there's this guy, there's somebody on the other side doing the other thing. That's what Trump is. Where the Democrats have been successful and they're doing this, Donald J. Trump has been sitting here doing the polar opposite while trying to convince you he's what they are. He's trying to sit here and take credit for the things they do while claiming they don't do anything and trying to discredit them. Meanwhile, he's trying to take credit for the things they do. That literally should tell you everything you need to know. It should literally tell you the Democrats, in fact, are successful, as they have been. Bill Clinton balancing the budget, winning the 2 elections in a row. He had a surplus. Okay, George W. Bush literally ran us into the ground with a deficit. Randomly destroyed Iraq for no reason whatsoever after 9/11. Then, after that terrible run, Obama came in and was like pretty much single-handedly the greatest president ever, sat here and created more jobs, more economic growth than we've seen ever. And, oh, right, the polar opposite happened right after that. We had a very racist, lying, manipulative, just incorrect, big fucking child as a president. Literally could never take being wrong and gave every fucking adult child that never got over their bullying epidemic a reason to bully other people, a reason to bully Democrats just for voting for the successful side. For the side that's winning, for the side that does successful good things that help you. Donald Trump just gave a shitload more money to rich people. And you voted for him to not do that, to do the you literally just saw evidence. Him signing that bill and then J.D. Vance breaking the tie, all that nonsense, all the nonsense where it literally just continues to lower taxes for the rich people while raising them for you. Why would you vote for Donald Trump when he's done this literally twice now? This is the second time he's done this now. Are you kidding? And again, this is exactly what we're talking about, where we have a guy that's literally a scammer right in front of you. He's doing everything polar opposite, polar opposite, polar opposite. Oh, that's a lie, I never said that. You can literally just cross-reference it. Yep, he said it. And you're just like, oh, that's, yep. Oh, yeah, bravo. Greatest acting I've ever seen. You just believe it. It's like so obviously a lie. It's like the most declarative lie you've ever seen, where he's just declaring he hasn't said it. And it's blatantly obvious the dude's fucking lying. Like he's just used to this. Like it just rolls right off his tongue. Just, yeah, no, I never said that. Like it's just so freaking obvious. Detective could spot it a mile away. Oh, that's right. Half of you don't know real detective work. That's right. The bald dude that I talked to wasn't a real detective. That one detective I talked to that claimed to be a detective. Yeah, he's terrible at his job. He just does the same things that he was taught to do, but doesn't actually evolve it and to a modern world to understand that things are different now. Like, this is the point, like, modern detectives don't understand how things work. They don't know how to deduce things anymore. They just literally think everything is as it is. No, it's not. No, everything's so messed up and complete polar opposite of everything. And that's the whole point. You're gonna be fucking... Some teenager or some young person's gonna sit here and make a fortune off of some detective or some stupid cop because some dumb cop wants to help this person and make some money in the long run. So they're just going to believe everything they say and help them scam people and stuff like that and end up being just like evil, corrupt cops. And this is what's happening. Like, it's literally happening all over. It's happening with cops, it's happening with politics, it's happening with everything. Where you see, because of this asshole scamming in broad daylight, everybody knows it, the people that choose to continue to do this and continue, I feel as though they know. I feel as though at this point we should start accepting the fact that there may be a time in which we need to, it's not a civil war, but have a realization that the Republican Party should be massively federally investigated. And starting with Donald Trump. But he sat here and made it legal for him to do illegal things while in office. Did you know that? The first time. That's why he's a king. That's why they say that. And also, he's a convict too, so they... Ridiculous. So meanwhile, you and I, we struggle, we work hard, pay bills, pay for things, do it all over. We actually work. Donald Trump, you know what he does? I'm gonna tell you, because he calls this work. Even before he's president. I can just tell you his daily... This is what he does. He wakes up. And he probably sits here. He probably wakes up, turns on a TV. Lays there for half an hour, orders his breakfast. Comes to him in bed or in his bedroom. There's a man there to give him whatever the fuck he wants. If he wants, a back scratch or fucking massage, whatever. That guy is right there to give him whatever the fuck he wants. Second he wakes up. And from the second he wakes up, he's sitting here and he's eating gourmet food. Delivered to him on a fucking literal silver platter. A literal silver platter. With literal fucking gold utensils. Not making any of this up. This is literal. This is. So, he wakes up this way. Then after, fucking around as long as he wants, because again, Donald Trump doesn't actually have to do anything. He then goes to his office, maybe, looks at his stocks, makes a couple phone calls to the people that are running his company for him, and asks them, did you get rid of that guy? Oh, okay. Well, I told you to get rid of him. And I told you need to make this amount by this amount or you're fired. So do it. And then he hangs up. And then he calls the next guy and threatens that guy too. And he hangs up and he calls the next guy and he threatens that guy too. And he hangs up and he calls the next guy and he threatens that guy too. And he hangs up. This is what Donald Trump does. He sort of gets up and he starts his day threatening the people that he's hired and being nasty to people, and just sort of kind of learning, that he's the shit. Okay? So he moseys around the house, yada, yada, yada. He finally goes out and does his little fucking thing, right? He goes out and maybe does an interview, or he goes outside. Remember, this isn't necessarily as president, I'm just saying, like, in Trump Tower or whatever. So, then... no, as president would be a little different, but I'm just saying it was before that. Then, you know, he has to go out into the world, go on the internet and listen to all these people. Oh, yeah, they're talking all kinds of shit, yeah. That's what he does. That's the point. That's what this guy does. He sits there and he looks for, like, he doesn't go on and ask his wife out to, like, a nice date or anything like that, share a picture of that, and then have a nice experience where they can talk about it and share that, or like, you know, he doesn't like go out and like just like kind of like, you know, appear to be nice. No, like he has to go out and like give money away and be seen giving a shitload of money to a company or a cause or something like that. And like, you know, like this is the point. It's all gotta be publicity. He's gonna look good. He can just do these things. So, like, this is the point, is, like, you have to realize that right from the very moment he gets up, throughout his whole day, and it reminds you, as he's walking through his house, he's got a guy for this, like a guy for that. He doesn't drive a car. He goes outside, his driver's already waiting for him. He makes a call. I'd like to go to the store. Right away, sir, I'll pull the car around. So he just gets in the car, goes to the store. Oh man, you know what? That looks really busy. I don't think I can go in there. You know, for security reasons, you're gonna have to. Yes, sir. Hands him a list. Maybe he's not even in the car. Maybe he didn't even go. Yep, but while he's in that limo, that tinted limo, he could sit there, crack open a bottle of champagne, turn on the TV again. That's probably what he does. He sits there on his phone, fucks around. Yeah. Watching more people talk shit about him, thinking more about it. So basically, oh, alright. So then the guy comes back. Maybe he even rolls down the window and he goes, Did you get the ice cream? Did you get the ice cream? You know, and it was like, yeah, I got the ice cream. Don't worry. You know, like maybe, you know, like maybe it's even that. You know, like it's even that bad. Like we're just like, just get the ice cream. You know, so like, you know, this is the point. Is like, this is how he spends his fucking day. Like this cushy lifestyle. He goes home, he eats his goddamn ice cream into oblivion. And he just sits there doing fucking nothing. Nothing. He goes and plays golf, and then again, the day starts over. His name is attached to everything. What do you think he does? I'll be honest with you. For those of you who actually have ever run a business or anything, you should know what I'm talking about. You really should. You should know more than anybody. But this is the point. So many people out there sit here and you've never owned a business, you never run one, you don't know anything about this, yet you sit here and you claim that Donald Trump is the guy. Meanwhile, he's the scammer. He is like the fucking very obvious, most scamming narcissist on the planet. I mean, this guy made his business and made his fortune off of scamming people. I mean, like, even before president, it was just generally known that he did this. He scammed his way into a real estate contract before. I mean, like, this is the point. Like, you need to start getting comfortable. Not comfortable. I guess comfortable with recognizing. I should say comfortable with recognizing scammers. Like, you just, there's so many people out there that just, it works too good on you. You want to believe everything that somebody says or something like that. And that's the way a scammer works. You know, think about the way these guys in India manipulate, you know, older people and stuff like that. The whole point is that that's their target audience because they know that their minds have degraded. So that's Trump's target audience too. Yeah, the people whose minds have degraded. So he knows that these are lower income people typically, and you know, like let's be honest, yeah, they have less access to better education and stuff like that. Like it's, I mean, you're not dumb just because you're poor. You just have no access to education. I mean, it's literally that simple. I mean, like think about it. Like in any of these countries where, you know, like they can't read or write or anything like that, does anybody think they're really stupid or dumb? Like, we don't think people are just innately stupid or dumb. I call you stupid because you're an American and you have access to internet and you choose it. You get free fucking education and you choose this. You choose to be stupid. You choose to sit here day in and day out and back up the guy, and you flat out vote for the guy that's sitting here and taking your money and taking advantage of you. Taking all of us to the cleaners. You know better. That's why I call you stupid. Because you fucking know better. You all of you. You know better. That's why you're dumb. That's why you're an idiot. That's why you're stupid. Because you have the books. You have the internet. You have a government that takes care of you. They do not. And yet they realize it. And every other developed country around the world has realized that Donald Trump's a piece of shit. So why haven't you? Why does Russia, the country that's invading Ukraine for absolutely no reason whatsoever, siding with Trump, yet Ukraine, that's being invaded and just protecting themselves, hates the guy? And very obviously, yeah. See, I wonder. Why do you think... Why do you think Kim Jong-un, why do you think North Korea met with Trump? Never any other president, but Trump. Yeah, that's fine. Interesting, isn't it? Like, the reason why is because, again, the other presidents know how dangerous these people are and they've condemned them. Donald Trump has recognized that he's the same as them, and he wants, they all want dictatorship. They all want forever control. That's why. So, again, I encourage you to hear this out and be able to recognize regularly as scams happen what they are. I mean, like, flat out. Even I gave you an example of an entire YouTube channel right now. Right now, they got 8,000 subscribers. They only started up freaking 2 months ago, basically. And they already got 8,000 subscribers. It's all lies. It's all just complete lies. And everybody, like, people are believing it. They're commenting. Like, what a shame. What a shame. That people believe stuff like that, you know, would actually buy into that. Now, It's absolutely incredible that it's truly crazy. It's crazy, is what I should say. That you all sat here and destroyed stuff and stormed the Capitol, being fooled by Trump, taking out ads to, that said "Stop the Steal." You actually believed in voter fraud, and now that Trump won and Elon basically admitted to it, and like there's actual evidence of voter fraud now, and before there never was, not even the most remote. Like again, every little tiny shred of voter fraud that was thought to be, they investigated the shit out of it, and like this is the point. Now there's actual evidence of it. They ain't worried about that. Look over here. Yep, they ain't worried about that. Interesting. How you feel so passionately about this when it's against Trump, but you don't suddenly when Trump's using it to his advantage, suddenly you don't care anymore. Isn't that interesting? Well, it actually means that you don't care about ethics. It means that the people that vote for Trump, I have just proven, without beyond a shadow of a doubt, don't care about ethics or morals or have any type of code of conduct that they follow for their lives to discipline themselves and the people around them. They don't. And I guarantee you, most of them are fathers, too. That's fucking disgusting. Most of them probably are, too. Because absolutely nobody keeps it in their pants anymore. Literally, we have all these fucking kids around because everybody just has sex all the time instead of just, normal, just doing life. You can't just not do that for some reason. So then, like, again, we just have all these people having kids that aren't ready for them, and this entire generation of people here that wasn't planned for, and you weren't ready for it, and now their brains, like had you been ready, you could have given them access to better education or better this or that, but no, they weren't, you weren't. And yeah, you don't even know, you don't even know whether Joe Biden stole the election. You sit here and you get fooled by a fake ad, and like all somebody has to do is literally take out an ad, pay money for an ad, and you'll be fooled. So that's what these scammers do. They know that they can get you with it, with ads and shit. So that's why a lot of times they use ads too. I mean, like, yeah, cookies and trackers for sure, but no, a lot of the time it's yeah, you're getting fooled. Unbelievable. Really. I think that's probably a good enough summary of what's been going on. And again, if you don't wise up to this, it's going to escalate faster than you realize. It already has. Like I said, that even that channel that's like pretty much all AI but using real clips and stuff is only a couple months old. Listen, like the whole video, they're sitting there talking about how Chris Evans apparently does just hates Disney now, and he just can't stand him, and he, like he's leaving, and blah 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 blah, and like just none of it's true. Just like you literally just sit there. They're like sitting there talking about how they're gonna get to this interview or this like a tell-all interview and stuff like that, and then like they just keep saying different stuff to get you to think about something else. It's literally all ADD tricks. It's literally just ADD tricks to get you to pay attention for X amount of time, and then they change it. They say, so basically, like, I remember a time in the video where they were like, okay, So, but before, you know, like we're gonna show you this interview is gonna go into depth about, you know, the tell-all on Chris Evans, how he really feels about this, and then they're like, they start, but before, we want you to understand this, and then they start going into this blah, 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 and I'm like, okay, that's fine. I see where this is, I see it's wasting my time, okay, alright. Now where's the interview, where's the story, where's the interview? No lie, it just kept going. And then after that, I'm like, all right, here's at which my point of attention span is trying to lose this video. I can actually tell my attention span doesn't want to pay attention to it anymore, and it's kind of trying to lose the video. And right at the point at which that happened, no lie in the video, right then, they're going to be like, so in order for you to understand what we're talking about here, we're going to have to take a step back a little bit and go backwards in time, back to when Captain America first came out. Like, they start talking more about, like, all this other stupid shit. Again, never actually referencing this supposed interview where Chris Evans did this tell-all where he doesn't want to be in Marvel anymore, yada yada yada, or DC, Disney, I should say, and like none of it, like it literally never actually gets to that point. It literally never actually gives an interview where he says that, because there isn't one. That's the point. There isn't one. There's no. It's all fake. It's complete nonsense. And there's like one or two comments at the bottom of each video that say, this is fake, I can't believe you can run an entire channel based on fake nonsense. There's only like one or two, and those comments are all the way at the fucking end, and all the other comments that are talking about it are all liked, and they're all at the top. Imagine that. Sound familiar? Almost like basically what's been happening to my channel, where the more I give you accurate, factual information that proves the disinformation wrong, my channel does worse. It's kind of amazing how that happens, isn't it? I want to educate you and help you out and give you factual information, and there's just cancel rhythm. It really is fascinating, isn't it? It's almost like it's orchestrated, like I've been telling you. So, again, there are secret wars going on. This is very dangerous. This brings me to the final point, the point that I have not made yet, because I didn't want to make it at the beginning because of YouTube's stupid little fucking cancel rhythm. We are in a secret war. Period. End of discussion. Yeah, conveniently, Avengers are coming out with one too. We really are. There are several secret wars going on. And yes, the federal government does not want the general public to know how much the enemy is sitting here spying on your cell phones. Yes, they are lying. Yes, there are people that are working in this country for cell phone companies. Yes, no, they're not the people that Trump's deporting. He knows this. Yes, they are Americans. Yes, they've been here for a long time. Yes, they can be here. Yes, they are terrorists, and yes, they vote for Donald Trump. They might even be born citizens. But either way, they're terrorists. On an agenda that's Nazism. It's not making America great, it's Nazism. It's racism, it's segregation, it's spying, it's manipulation. So yeah, we are in the middle of a secret war. And everybody's playing their role. So I'm playing mine. These guys really thought they were going to sit here and hide because my name was generic. I had a very generic name. They were going to sit here and use all my data to hide and mask it forever and yada 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 yada. Well, we threw a wrench. Start throwing wrenches, man. Throw wrenches, man. Because, you know, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. But also because you want to throw a wrench into whatever the fuck is going on in this secret war that is ripping Americans apart, causing them to fight and hate each other for no reason. Yeah, I've tried to tell people that it's super obvious that everybody's being manipulated to hate each other, fight, disorder, but nobody believes it. Everybody's like, demons! Oh! Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Just shut the fuck up with that already. Demons. And then we get the bots that come in and say, do you believe in God? You know, like asking you that and stuff like that. This is part of it. It's part of it. They want you to think you're being attacked. And this is when you have to realize that the church does this. The church has scams too that they orchestrate. So I heard about this scam. Here's what's crazy. Even the person that told the story didn't realize it was a scam. So here's the whole scam that happened. I heard about. This is a scam, and let me tell you why. This person was claiming that they saw this thing. Oh my God, this thing. They kept seeing this ghost, yada yada yada, and it was starting to interfere with them and stuff like that, and yada yada yada, and cause problems and yada yada yada. This was a very carefully orchestrated scam where somebody was doing something to scare this person that didn't make any sense, and this person had a rational fear. So therefore they saw what they believed they saw. And this church orchestrated scams where they were breaking into this family's house, pretending to be a ghost, dragging them out of their bed and stuff like that. And this story is told by a content creator too that should realize this too. Are you kidding me? You really believe that? No, this church was breaking in and doing this, and no lie, this is what they did. They eventually manipulated them into believing that they just needed to go to church. Yeah, and they went to church, and they said they started feeling better after church, and so, oh wow, imagine that, wow, and only would feel right if they were at church, yeah. So then, what they had to do is have this whole church come down with all their vans and have everybody come to their house and perform this this prayer ritual and stuff like that, where all these vans that the church has their name on are parked in your neighborhood for all the neighbors to see and stuff like that. And they even killed somebody during this scam. They even did that. Isn't that fucking terrible? The church. And meanwhile, this content creator that does this content on stuff like this and should recognize things like this doesn't, because he is involved in this too. He doesn't realize, and he doesn't see it this way because he doesn't look at things with a detective eye. I look at everything like that. You ask me to look at something, okay, I'll look at it, I'll analyze it, but it's not going to be what you probably want or expect, because I'm going to actually do it. And you're probably going to be disappointed. So yeah, I analyze the church and I analyze the Bible. Okay? I promise you, absolutely nobody's doing it right. Absolutely nobody. There's like literally not a single fucking church on this planet except briefly the one I explained to you where somebody saved my faith. I mentioned that this person saved my faith. He was like one of the only people to ever do it right. And even he had trouble making it work in this state. That's all I'm going to say about him. Because he conveniently moved to a different state where those things are very obviously easier to do, because in that state they realize what's going on in the rest of the country. Gee, I wonder why. Gee, So anyway, you have to realize that everybody's doing it wrong. Everybody. To the Christian organization that thinks they're being super Christian by helping people and stuff like that, you're not. You're not. Because you're doing it for profit. Oh, it's non-profit. No, it isn't. No, it's not. Liars. Literally just lying. So here's the deal. Can people do their best and try their best and like pastors and stuff like that? Yes. Yep. Except if they're trying their best, it doesn't look like saving money for, I don't know, let's say a new PA system or a TV for the rec room or something like that. It doesn't look like kicking out the disabled person because they have Tourette's and they can't help but say fuck or something like that, or whatever it is they say that sets you off so other people won't come. You ever seen a Tourette's person in church? I've certainly never seen it. And I grew up literally in a town where there's churches everywhere. Like, literally, you can't even fucking churches. Church. It's like a fucking mafia of churches. And it's literally like so disgustingly embedded in you from when you're young that you just like it makes you sick. You don't even want to hear about it anymore. And you read the stories in the Bible and you see how disgusting all these people are. They're actually worshiping this God. They're actually worshiping like literally somebody that smites people. And no, are you stupid? The Bible's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. Again, I'll say that again. The Bible is abhorrently wrong. There are parts of it that are very obviously correct, that very obviously came from somewhere, and then there are just parts that are wrong. That it's very obvious they did this at the time they did this to control people's thought. Oh, God's gonna smite. He did all these terrible things and treated these people, killed all these people in God's name, so therefore don't do this or he's gonna do the same thing. Like, literally it was just a way for them to control people. Because that's what people needed. The church was always a way to control people from killing themselves, because that's what they needed. It's no different now. The church is being used. It always has been. by whatever government that exists at the time that understands that people kill themselves. They are their own destruction. They need something to pretty their little minds so they don't destroy each other, because they're too fucking stupid to simply coexist. That's it. It's literally that simple. You become way too caveman-like. And you start going, ugh, grunting and acting primate-like. This is literally all that happens. And history is repeating itself. It's just happening all over again. Except Donald Trump is orchestrating it. None of us wanted it. None of us. Most of us didn't. Donald Trump's trying to ensure that this stupidity continues. So do I believe in God? Yeah, sure. Do I think a book written by man is going to tell me what that is? And tell me anything about that that's useful? Maybe. Some things. Have we seen it with our own eyes? Have we spoken to God? Is there a general public populace that thinks that they've spoken to God or seen God? No. No. I will easily just say no. Zero evidence. Zero. There is actually literally zero evidence. The only evidence that that there is a creator. Ah, there you go. The only evidence is that there is a creator. Does he want to be God? Does he want to be looked at like that? Do you want to kill each other because you're too stupid to understand this was written by you? By people at the time that are thousands of years behind us? You want to be mind controlled by people that are long thousands of years dead. That's how I look at the modern fucking Bible. You're being mind controlled by people that are thousands of years dead. It's ridiculous. Grow up. Grow a pair of balls, get a mind of your own, and make your own fucking decision. Sorry, but it's true, man. God exists. But not on the plane of existence that you even understand. So he doesn't. Does he want to be worshipped? Does he want you to sit here and bow down and coddle and grovel and like they said, oh, stop groveling, you know, like literally, like that was the whole point. As funny as that was in Holy Grail, it's probably true. You really think that he wants that? If the he exists, probably not. Let me ask you something. This God is all kind and all giving and all loving and shit. Why does he want you to bow at his feet? Why does he want you to be lower than him? Why not the same level? Why not look him in the eyes? Because the God is scared of you or something? Scared you're going to overthrow him? No. That's the point. That's the thing that doesn't make any sense. There's all kinds of shit like that doesn't make any fucking sense. Why'd he kill all these people, yet he's so loving? No. Everybody knows that doesn't fucking make any sense. None of it makes any sense. Except when I explain it. Then it makes sense. Jesus Christ was a magician. Who's a hero, too. And Jesus Christ truly believed that killing and all these crimes and stuff got to a certain point where they needed to absolutely fake the fact that you know, this guy really is the Son of God, and he's going to save everybody, yada yada yada. Some good's going to come of this, because otherwise, all that's going to happen is he's going to be a beacon. He's going to be this really 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 nice guy that everybody loved, and they're going to kill him just because all he did was some goofy stuff. Yeah, big deal, right? And then just because they have a king, right, or whatever ridiculous bullshit they had. So, this is the point. They just recognized that they needed to, when this was going to happen, they knew it was going to happen, but when this was going to, and you guys know this, like, they talked about this, they knew it was going to happen. It was, like, obvious, like, it was coming, they foreshadowed it, even Jesus did, he knew it was coming, because he understood the politics. That's it. He was really smart. He was a hero, too. And he understood he needed to be the savior that people needed. He needed to lie and tell people that there's this God watching over them and yada yada. And all he did was start using this faith, this lie. And it worked. And people's goodwill and own abilities took over, and the miracles just happened. So does God exist? Probably. Does he exist between the pages in the Fibonacci sequence? There you go. There you go. He is ever present, ever knowing, and all omnipresent. He's right in front of you at all times. He's not in the sky, he's not looking, he's right in front of you. He is watching every last little fucking thing that you're doing. Right in front of you. He is part of you. He is connected. He is you. That is God. That is the explanation. That explains the Fibonacci sequence too. And why Jesus knew he could do what he could do. Because at times, yeah, this would help him out. But only when he truly believed it, and only when it was truly helpful and good for the people. Because, remember, if he exists in all of us and prayer truly works, then all it takes is a bunch of people to get together and the power of God suddenly takes over. Because all of you people are together. And suddenly, that starts to make sense, doesn't it? Omnipresent. Existing within you, you get a bunch of people together, suddenly God's power is stronger. It's not him, it's you. You know how we would obtain world peace and godliness? If every last person on earth got together and actually worked together to do something. If every single last person on this planet had no ounce or shred of hostility. If every single one of us let go, we'd immediately realize what he meant by forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. I mean, the point is, he was trying to teach us that the only way to know God is to be good to each other. You know, the whole thing with, here's my body, this is my blood. That's the point. It was analogies. You didn't get that? You think you're supposed to sit here and drink wine and fucking little pieces of bread? Get cheese, man. Man, people are so basic. Like, that is, like, honestly, the dumbest shit. Communion is so fucking stupid. It's like a little festival for them to sit there and talk about the event in the Bible. It's like a Halloween of the Bible or something. Like, it's just ridiculous. It's so stupid. Like, you literally take something Jesus did and like, almost make fun of it. Like, I don't know. Like, I can't stand that communion bullshit. I can't stand that. That's so stupid. Now, one thing that would have been cool As if people would have started understanding that God's work, believe it or not, I think is actually being done with, as funny as it sounds, metal concerts and like rock concerts and stuff. Because like I don't know, like even watching that last Ozzy show, you guys know the last Ozzy show ever happened, right? And it was amazing. Just never did I see such an example of goodness and kindness and warmth and like the image is opposite, right? Like obviously every one of those guys, their image, Prince of Darkness, obviously, like this is the point. It's just an image, guys. Like you can package that art however you want to sound dark and cool and stuff like that. But the whole point of that is to scare the demons away, to scare the evil away, to be more dark than you would normally be. Because yeah, you're not going to let those demons get to the teddy bear that you are. Ozzy's a big fucking teddy bear on the inside. But a lot of you didn't know that before that concert. He really is. He always has been. And this is the point. Like, this is the guy that those guys were trying to point the finger at, like, way back in the day. And it's like, oh, come on. Like, all the violence that is to happen, they just blame anybody for it just because they're, in the limelight or whatever. It's like, you can't, like... No, he was bringing me joy, man. That music got me through some stuff. And a lot of people would feel the same way. God's work is being done through music and through coming together. To just come together. That's it. Just to have a good time. Have music, come together. Literally what Jesus was trying. I mean, like the most hippie of hippiest things that you could think of. Yes, that concept. Yes. Yes. Believe it or not, yes. The peace concept. Oh, yeah, so terrible. Oh, the hippies were so terrible, weren't they? Spreading peace and love. Oh my God. The fuck is the matter with this country? You realize how many politicians sat here and slammed hippies and tried to sit here and make them look terrible? Yeah, like that's that whole concept. It's like, and this is the opposite, man. Like the whole point of that generation was to try to get people to realize that we're coming out of World War II. We just want peace and love, like, forever. Can we do that? Can we please do that? Like, this has been awful. We're tired of seeing killing. Can we just please peace and love forever? Peace and love forever, please? That's literally that's literally their entire thing. And so many politicians, like, just anything they can do to smear that image, slander it, they will. So yeah, I think I made my point there, pretty well. But it is important. All of this is extremely important. Or it's just going to get worse, man. And it's extremely important for you to come to a lot of these realizations, like these things that don't make any sense. Just come to these realizations. Why does prayer work then? Well, because again, God is omnipresent. You pray, He hears you. That's it. He knows your thoughts because he's omnipresent. He's part of them. That's it. He can hear you. Actually start talking for once. You might learn a thing or two about yourself. You know, again, it's just, it really is a lot to try to unpack everything that's going on, but it is important for you to realize that a leader that wants to take over more land or causes divide or constantly says things that are untrue, this is somebody that very obviously is not in your best interest. Is not somebody that is for transparency at all. You know, especially somebody that sits here and has to talk about how transparent they are pretty regularly, like, you know, like how recently he's just talking about how so transparent he is, and so it's like complete opposite. So like start please recognizing when it's just a scam right out of the gate. Please start recognizing these things. Is everything a scam? No, obviously not. But I mean, the next generation does not understand and know how to discern, and this is his fault. It is his fault, and if anything, he probably has his little trackers and stuff like that to monitor situations to figure out if he is really doing this or not. Because I really truly believe he is doing this on purpose to figure out a way to dumb all of you down enough to you know, essentially continue rigging this thing. And you do not want that, obviously. Obviously, you cannot trust somebody that will not step aside. Even Joe Biden stepped aside after one term. That is... God, that guy is amazing. He sits there and single-handedly does almost more than any other president. Like, in one term, he did so fucking much. It was unbelievable. And he's old, too. And, already, like, just the reversals and disgusting things from the other administration. You know, just for the purposes of, like, you know, just, like, really just kind of, you know, just trying to, you know, really, again, just try to make it look like the other guy is just really, really bad at what they're doing, you know? Like, just literally not doing anything that's constructive to actually help while making the person that's helping look like the bad guy. You know what I mean? Like, just endlessly discrediting Democrats even though what they're doing is good and stuff like that. So, again, guys, it's just we're just looping. You know, I guess we're just looping at this point. You've already heard the points. I think that's about it. Thank you for hearing me out, for sticking through it. It's super important. I know this is a long one here, but sometimes it takes a little bit to get through these things, and I hope you follow the logic a lot of the time. When I analyze things, I use science. I use the most current based information that I know of. And that's how I make a decision. I assemble all of it. I assemble all of it in my mind, and it's not. That's the thing I come to irrationally, and honestly, like the whole analyzing Christianity and religions and stuff like that. Like, this is what you have to realize is, like, on the other side of the world, they think they're right. You know, over whatever their religion over in India and China is, like, they think they're right. So, you know, like they just honestly they think they're right, and they've been right since forever. You know what I mean? And they probably have their proof and this and that and the other thing. So you have to realize that, like, at a certain point, we're not doing it any different than they did it way back when we had the Greek and Roman gods, you know, with you know, like Hades and Apollo and stuff like that, where, like, you know, like we're just picking an orb in the sky and saying it's a god now, you know, like things like that. So you just have to get to a certain point and rationalize that now we understand that stuff. When it was originally explained to us, and we didn't. Yet we use these old texts from forever ago, and we haven't really changed them. We still actually believe these things. Are you kidding me? You haven't updated your knowledge base on what you figured out over the past 2,000 years since then? That's sad. That's actually genuinely sad and awful if that's the case, because yeah, that's why we're devolving, for sure. Because you're trying to think that it, you know, that we should just, like, never adapt and evolve and understand things and correct what we've known all along. No, you just think that, oh, it is this, and it always has been. Even though we can prove that it's not. You just continue. It's no different than the thing with Trump and all the other stuff. You are a Christian. You are a religious fanatic that wants to believe everything that's happening is happening to help, and there's nothing going on, and it's all going to be okay. If it's okay, it's because people like me that are actually calling this shit out and doing their part. Jon Stewart, Stephen Colbert. That other streamer that's on YouTube that's sitting here getting people to try to debate him. You know, I commend anybody that's sitting here trying. Still. Because, yeah. It is absolutely insane what these people will do. You know, they're terrorists. There's no doubt in my mind. And it's your friends. It's your friends, too, unfortunately. You think you can have friends that vote for Trump and that you can vote... No. I promise you they're doing something behind your... I promise. Democratic voters? No, they're probably not. But the other guy, his anxiety is so through the roof, he probably drinks like fucking crazy. Like, that's the point. These guys, like, they can't keep they're the emotional ones, you know? Like, I've already made the analogies to the people that I see driving around, swerving around behind me, trying to get me to drive faster and stuff. We all know who that is. We all know who that is. We've all seen it. We've all seen it escalate and get worse. We've seen the trucks drive through the crowds of people that are standing on the road. Neither are correct. You shouldn't be standing on a road, blocking the road, and you shouldn't drive through people either. Neither are correct, okay? But again, one is worse. Obviously, driving through people is fucking worse. Obviously, you're a fucking retard if you don't understand that. And no, saying the word retard isn't bad. come to these conclusions. Words are not bad. They can be used. Okay, if you have a hold on a word like this, like makes you have some sort of like real emotional fit or something, somebody's going to use that against you. And so, like, part of why I say these things, and I think we need to hear these things, is because you need to accept the fact that the more that we put a hold on these things and we say they're bad, and then we declare people can't use them, and we treat people differently if they use them and stuff like that, you're terrible. You are the people that are turning terrible. It's you. All you're doing is finding a reason. Do you want me to go sit here and go through all of history and try to track down all the people that have ever said retard to me in my entire life? Or track down all the people that have ever said it all over the internet and all the other people that have ever said? No. Yet you're going to sit here and you're going to momentarily make somebody feel... No. It's wrong. It's abhorrently incorrect to do that. You are not a Christian if you do that. Especially if you sit there and you judge somebody, too. Oh, I just don't know how he is if he talks like that or something. So what? What does that even mean? So you're judging my character based on a word? That's a shame. You're not very Christian, then. And Jesus would teach you the same thing that I just said. What does that mean? Retard. What does that mean? Yeah, it's an insult. Sure, he would scold me for insulting somebody. Okay. Yeah, there it is. So again, how does it change? How does it change it? This is the point. You need to stop putting a hold on words. Words are words are words are words are words. And this is what Putin can't do. This is what Trump can't do. This is what these dictators in all these countries fight for. Just because they hear words they disagree with. And this is what it all comes down to. It's literally just words. Yep. And half the time they don't even speak our language. They're like, what's he saying? You know, they get a translator. They want to be angry. They want to reason, you know? Are you kidding me? That's ridiculous. You know, like that should prove it. That's the point. That's exactly the point. You have a hold on words, and words have a hold on you. If I say that word, you just become this emotional wreck and just like freak out. Maybe you tell this person, or you're the problem then. You just caused all that issue because I said the word retard. Wow. Good for you. Did you want a cookie, or did you want me to like give you a presentation tomorrow, so that way everybody knows that you were a good person for calling out the fact that I said the word retard? Did you want me to do that for you? Because I could do that. This is the point. Like, how? What does it matter? Like we think about like being rude and the concept of being rude. What does this matter? Your emotions matter. That's what matters. If I'm rude, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm allowed to be rude. Fuck you. Did that upset you just now? Me saying that? It shouldn't. Why are you upset? I'm sitting on a stream through the internet, probably thousands of miles away from you. Why are you getting upset over fuck you? Because of my tone? Probably. Yeah, it has to do with my tone. I've talked about this before. Tone is everything. If I said fuck you, do you see how it changes things a little bit? Do you kind of see what I mean? If it sounds like a joke, it doesn't sound rude. So suddenly, now you want to laugh. Do you see what I mean? Words are words are words, man. Laugh at them. Don't let them take hold of you. Don't let them crash your emotions, and do not let them fucking haunt your prayers. God doesn't give a shit if I say shit or fuck or retard. He doesn't care. What he does care about is how many people that affects. So don't let it. You're an adult. I'm not standing here like insulting like like a bunch of fucking people that their brains haven't developed yet or something like that. You are an adult. Get a hold of yourself, man. Yeah, get a hold of yourself, man. Oh, and I already said the thing on YouTube about how YouTube has way, way too many, like, young people with accounts on here and stuff. YouTube should be adults only. That should be age restricted. You shouldn't throw age restrictions on things, and you should just say that only adults are allowed to use YouTube, and that you should put a disclaimer on, and yada, 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 and that way, you can protect yourself, and you get what I'm saying. Like, it's so stupid. It really is. It really is. No. It's not the fact that they get on and hear somebody swearing. It's the fact that you're too stupid to understand that your restriction of that is what makes them want to do it. You're too dumb to understand that this is why they do those things and rebel, because you don't understand. Again, like 90% of the population that had kids and weren't ready for them. They just don't understand how it works. So, like, that's what it is. Like, you just like, you can't handle that, like, they're just getting on there and stuff like that, and you just want to, like, control everything, and you have emotional holds on, like, the word fuck and stuff like that. So, because you have an emotional hold on this, you put this on your kids. That's it. And you teach it to them. Instead of teaching them not to have, like, be emotionally impacted by things like that. Anyway. Like, for example, alright, let me just tell you something. There are two examples that you do a video on this, those who sit here and, like, make content out of this shit, clickbaitable content. All the videos you see of the interactions where people think it's real, and so you realize those are paid actors, right? Like, they're just like, oh, it's a scene, right? You know that, right? So what you need to do is you need to do a scene on how a person can properly handle bullying with humor. Not making fun of, not actually doing anything, but intelligently handling a bullying situation. Intelligently. That's what you need to do. Because I got news for you. Donald Trump didn't even get over it. This guy, like, literally, people have been making him feel like shit since forever, and now all he's trying to do is prove what a hotshot, successful guy he is, even though he's not. Like he always wanted to So like when he was going to be a failure, he suddenly had he just couldn't let that happen. Well, the point is he wasn't going to be a failure. He just looked at it that way. So therefore, he became an emotional wreck. He scammed an election. He hired a bunch of actors to pretend to clap for him as he came down the. He did all these things. He reacted. Him. It was him. Could have done anything with that. Could have said, well, we had a good run, I guess. Tried to consolidate as much as he could. Take it on the chin. Be done with it. No. No. Nope. Scams the entire country and stuff. And Elon Musk basically did the same thing, but for him. And then you're like, not realizing it. You're still not realizing it. You're still not realizing what billionaires can do versus you. You're not realizing the same thing is happening in other countries where these leaders are just gaining wealth this way. Anyway, yeah, that's about, I think that's about it. I do think that all this is very important. There's all these wars going on. Again, these secret wars. These are all wars where they're trying to steal data. They're trying to sit here and use your cell phones to figure out how they can attack Americans. They want to bounce a signal off of that radio tower that's sitting outside your Walmart store so that way they can learn how to bounce that signal off of that radio tower and, I don't know, let's say burn something down or blow something up. Because, radio signals, what's that little word that radio signals have in them? What's that little word that they have in them that I'm not going to say, okay? And then not only that, you have all of these individual countries sitting here and going to town on all the data, the breaches, and everything that they've learned from America, from all the breaches over the years. They're going to town on that. They're using that. All while, meanwhile, there's secret wars going on that you don't know about. And the FBI is literally sitting here creating distractions, looking like idiots. All this is going on. All of it. Secret wars, all this shit. FBI is just like, we're a bunch of fucking idiots. They look so stupid. Yeah, and that's Trump's FBI. That's my point. Interesting, isn't it? So yeah. Pretty terrible situation, but I wanted you guys to, at least have this here for you to kind of, have like a little bit, at least a little bit of a reference point. Like, if all you do is just take it with a grain of salt, take everything with a grain of salt, start questioning everything, but accept facts too when you hear them, and you can confirm this. And again, don't hate somebody just because of their viewpoint on something. Don't do this. Do not ever, ever, ever hate. Never. Ever, ever, ever. You never do that. Never get as low as the person that is doing this to you. You know, don't get lower than them. You know, just like they should have those bullying videos and stuff like that all over the place for adults regularly because they don't know how to deal with it. You know, just like that. You don't ridicule somebody back, you don't respond to it, you don't engage with it. There are ways of dealing with it. And the whole purpose of a lot of what I do is to show you what not to do by example. Hope you kind of realize that a little bit. There's certain things that people need to be shown. They can't be told. They have to see it. And acting it out, especially like movies and stuff like that, drawing attention to things, but acting it out, playing that part, it shows you. You just see it. You just go, oh, now I get it. Yep, that looks pretty bad. and that's it. You just get it. So, thank you. Thank you for sticking through this whole thing. Appreciate that. I mean, we got through it, but, you know, it's a long one, I guess. But thank you for sticking through. I do feel that it is important for people to be as aware of the current crazy situation of everything that we're in. You know, like all these things we're realizing right now, right as all this shit's going on. You know, like just all this stuff's coming out. Well, yeah, remember, distractions and scams, but also at the same time, it is the future. We're gonna find out about new stuff. Yes. We just got the James Webb Telescope. The James Webb Telescope. That's a big one. Yeah, just to let you know, that's a big one. That was a big one. So yeah, anyway, thank you guys. Thank you for your support. I appreciate that. Thank you. I just felt like I needed you guys to hear that tonight. So, see ya.